So, yeah, so welcome to Probe the Act on Deepstuff TV with a really lovely singer and a songwriter, Katie Kittermaster. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having me on.
yeah, good to have you. I saw your tag on Instagram. You're tagging Deepstuff Records.
Huh?
I saw you tag us in a post on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great. Yeah. So, tell us how you got started in music, Katie.
I think like a lot of musos, singer-songwriters, it's kind of just been something that we've always loved. I think my first proper performance was when I was 3 in the nativity play at school. I don't really remember it obviously, but that's what my parents have told me. And I really think it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I really loved musicals. I always wanted to be Annie in the West End, and then realized I couldn't really act and I couldn't really dance, so I was left with the singing, and then started writing when I was 15, which is when I first started playing guitar as well, which I think massively helped. I don't think I could write without an instrument. And it wasn't until I had my first sort of relationship or whatever you call it at that age, and the ending of that, that I started writing, and I haven't really stopped since. So yeah, I then left school about this just over a year and like a year and a half ago, and was lucky enough to go straight from school to being on tour full time, which was really, really cool,
Yeah.
with Brian McFadden from Westlife and Keith Duffy from Boyzone. They're now touring around together as Boys Life. So I was their support act for a while. And then I was on tour with Lucy Spraggan as well. So yeah, it's been a pretty hectic year up until lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. The lockdowns really affected everything, don't it? Especially the industry, the music industry.
Mhm.
You can't really do much, can you? Yeah,
No, yeah, it's definitely majorly affected us, I guess. We're all still kind of in the initial lockdown. We never really went back to normal.
yeah.
I was lucky enough to have a few gigs in between these two lockdowns, but yeah, there's not a whole lot going on.
No, no, I don't suppose there is. So have you ever been in a band, Katie?
No, I haven't. I've always sort of, I think a lot of people that you meet when you tell them you're a singer, they're like, would you go on X Factor? Would you do that? And I'm like, I kind of want to make it on my own if I can, like without that massive leg up. Like if you can do it kind of organically and just put your own music out there and see what happens, then that's kind of the route I'd like to take. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to consider like being in a band. And I mean, I do have a band like behind me,
Yeah,
so but it's like Katie Kittermaster rather than
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
girl group.
You know what's coming now, don't you? The problem.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that. I really enjoyed listening to it. I watched you on YouTube and I thought, what a brilliant, brilliant writing. How did that come about?
Um, so it kind of came about in a weird way, actually. I was going to Los Angeles for a writing trip, which is something I'd never done like a writing trip. I'd never really written with anyone else, in fact. And as you can tell, probably from listening to The Problem, my songs are very personal, very real, and it's very like from the inside. It's not your average conversation that, I would talk about right here now. Um, so I was quite nervous about the whole thing, and I thought I better just check that I can still write. So the night before my flight, I sat down and thought, okay, let's just check I can still do this. And this is the song that came out. And I think the idea for the song sort of stemmed from a conversation with my mum. I think I'd reflected on like friends that I'd been friends with and then fallen out with, or relationships that had ended or drifted, or all these things that happen in life. And I think parents are very good at sort of softening the blow by saying like, oh, like it's not you, it's them, like they're jealous or they're too immature, or like, they just weren't ready, and all this, they make up a lot of excuses, and I think it is to help you. But I just came to the point where I was like, I'm the common denominator in all of these situations. So maybe it's me, like maybe I'm the problem. And I think, yeah, this was quite like a dark thought, and I was in quite a dark place when I wrote this. So I'm glad that I can share it, and hopefully people can relate to it and realize that they're not alone in that feeling.
Yeah, they do say a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it?
Yes, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, do you have you done any covers, Katie?
Yeah, I actually have a cover coming out properly, like on Spotify and everything, in 2 weeks' time. So I'm doing a cover of Every Breath You Take by the Police, which is a bit random. It's quite different.
Yeah.
Obviously they're a very different band to like what I'm doing, but I basically came up with kind of flipping the meaning of it because my dad lives in China and we haven't seen him through this whole pandemic and probably won't until maybe June next year. And so over the years of him living abroad, he's kind of missed out on a lot of us like growing up, like
Yeah.
birthdays and people learning to drive and
Yeah.
school exams and stuff. And so the whole concept of I'll be watching you is like him watching us through FaceTime.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of inspiration behind why I want to put the song out. And I kind of envision this whole like John Lewis Christmas campaign where it's like all about watching people on FaceTime because of Corona, not being able to be with Granny and Grandpa and all this kind of stuff. So we'll put out the song and hopefully people will be like, I don't know, they'll enjoy it.
I think we've lost Katie. Are you still there?
Oh, there we go.
Oh. I wonder what happened there. Yeah. So, what were your dreams when you first? What was your ambition when you first started? Down this road.
I guess like many young girls who like singing, I kind of wanted to be that classic pop star like Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, Selena Gomez kind of thing, like very Disney Channel. But as I've grown up, I kind of just want to write my stories and, hope people relate to them, and I hope it can help them in some ways.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So, like most artists, some write from the beats or from the instrumental, when you play the guitar, and some write to the beat. So you write the lyrics first, and then you go into a recording environment, and then you try to then come up with the beat. What's that process for you?
I think it's kind of like both at the same time. I normally just write on piano or guitar, and I'll literally play like, I'll kind of know, I guess I am a bit more lyrics first, but not like set in stone lyrics, just like the idea. And then I'll play like 4 chords that I want to use, and then it's actually really hard to explain. Like you just do it, and it's one of those things, like if you think about it too much, you're like, I don't know how I do it.
Yeah.
But you just do it.
I get you. So this is the point where you tell us about your where we can find your music and also your social media pages.
Cool. So my name is Katie Kittermaster, and I'm the only one out there. So anything with my name on it is me. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, website, SoundCloud. I think that's everything. There might be other stuff out there that people can find, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So how is this, how have you been coping during this pandemic, during the lockdown? What's been that one thing that's, made it a bit more bearable for you?
I think being with my family has been really, really good to like spend time with them. Obviously touring full time before, I hadn't seen them a lot. I in the initial lockdown did like this COVID cover challenge where I did a cover on my Instagram every single day of a song, and I sort of followed the alphabet, which was really good because it meant I had stuff to post. It meant you know, people were engaged with what I was doing, and it also meant that I was getting up and showering and like getting dressed every day, which probably wouldn't have happened otherwise. So that was really good. But otherwise, just like, I don't know, learning new hobbies. I did some painting and like cooking a few new recipes and all the classic stuff that most people got up to.
Yeah. So tell us about your most memorable gig.
I really liked a gig I did recently at a place called the Bedford in London, because it was one of the first gigs where people had come to see me rather than like going to see Boys Life and seeing me by surprise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it was my show. Sorry,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I'm not going to. Yeah, and like people were wearing my merch and singing along, and like that is just the best feeling.
That's good. That is really good. So what would you do if there was no music?
I really don't know. I think the boring answer to that is like I'd probably be at university.
Right.
Just like studying business or geography or something really dull. But I feel like I was meant to be in the creative industry, so maybe like advertisement or like music management,
Yeah.
or an A&R. I don't know. I think I'm destined to be in this music world. So
Yeah. I don't know what the world would be like without music, actually. So
yeah.
concluding part where you get to give shout out to anybody at all. Go for it.
Shout out to my dog, Hugo. Big up. There you go.
Oh, okay. I was taking a little bit more names, but that's fine. Yeah. So I've been dRem TGI. You've been watching Probe the Act on Deepstuff TV with a lovely guest, singer, songwriter, and a musician, Kittermaster. Guys, you need to check out The Problem.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to check out The Problem. If you're a fan of sad love songs, you need to check it out. But if you're not, you still need to check
it out.
Yeah, you still need to check it out. Yeah. So I've been dRem TGI. Have a lovely week now. Just